Okay, well, in the probable case that nobody's going to show up, I'm going to spend this evening tackling something that I've been wanting to tackle for a while, which is to create our club's website. So we have a chapter, a study group that we would meet. I think a year into the pandemic, once a month for freeCodeCamp.org for the Barrie study group. And so we would have guest speakers where we'd talk about code. We would try to hack together some things. The rubber ducky project was not quite successful, but actually learned quite a bit about how not to do MERN stack. But yeah, we've been having fun just kind of hacking away on little problems here and there from the freeCodeCamp curriculum. But today, or this evening, I should say, what I wanted to do and what I was going to try to suggest to anyone that attends this evening is to redo the freeCodeCamp freeCodeCamp Barrie website. So GitHub provides this wonderful thing called GitHub Pages. So it's a way for you to be able to have free websites. So if we actually go to this URL here, so if we went to freeCodeCampBarrie.github.io, we will see hopefully just hello world here. So let me just try this. freeCodeCamp. GitHub Barrie.io. So this site, what do we got here? It's a list of the open source projects. Oh, sorry. We're not the official freeCodeCamp. We are just a study group from the wonderful website. So github.io. Okay, so yes. So basically, we have an empty canvas to fill up. Ideally, what I want, or what I envision the website to be, is to duplicate what we have on Facebook study group, and maybe freeCodeCamp. They have been working hard on a Meetup alternative. Sorry, so Meetup, the Meetup website, which was very popular, was a victim of the WeWork scandal, allegedly. So Quincy Larson, the founder of freeCodeCamp, he wrote this wonderful article basically saying we need an alternative to Meetup, the website, because they were charging people just to attend. I can't really do it justice, but basically it sucked. The meetup.com or meetup.org. Yeah, it was just, it was a scandal here. So I'm not doing it justice here. So Meetup, I want to say Meetup chapter. Yeah. Yeah. So WeWork was, if you haven't started watching the documentary, I think it's not the documentary, but the biopic, We Crash on Apple TV. It's really quite amusing. And they talk about the fantastic failure of WeWork, the company. So I guess Meetup.com was a subsidiary at one point from WeWork, the corporation. And so they were so strapped for cash that they were squeezing people out. So this is I'm trying to think, was this in 2019? yeah, 2019, Quincy wrote this. And so they've been working on a substitute for Meetup. So highly encourage you to read this article to give some context. But in the meantime, I would like just our club to have a website. And basically the criteria is, this is what we're going to do at the next meetup. Here's maybe the minutes or who attended the last meetup, maybe a coding challenge that we can put out to our loyal few that show up. But yeah. So tonight we're going to try to change Hello World into something usable. I apologize if you can hear any ambient noise in the background. That's my 3D printer and a space heater down in the basement here. Okay. Hopefully it's not too dreadful. All right, so the first thing I would like to do is kind of sketch out just some pen and paper online. So I haven't used Figma a heck of a lot, but apparently it's the go-to for designers for kind of coming up with ideas for websites. It's probably overkill for what we need, but it'll at least give us a general idea. So, all right, so what can we do here? Just seeing the different functionalities here we can do. So we can literally, since I really am not too concerned about branding per se, we can do dreadful colors and what have you. So I'm thinking, how do I write text here? You can tell I have no idea what I'm doing here. There we go. It's a text. Let's try that again here. Text. Text bold. I actually don't know how to add things here. Gosh. All right. Okay. So I'm thinking we just need a like a banner or something that just kind of shows the next event. Next event. So that'll be our next meetup. Whether we're going to be working on Python, something to that effect. So we can have something like, you know, event details, you know, date, time, something like that. Time. And then I'm thinking we'll probably want gosh, you know, I really should have taken the I should have taken a tutorial on Figma. This is just going to be a fun little video of me struggling. Come on, let's see here. Okay, then it's just, I just do a copy and a paste. Yeah, it looks like it. Nice. All right, too easy. Okay, so and then I'm thinking just to keep it simple, we could do kind of like past events. An event could be like past Meetup. So that's what I'm thinking about. And then, you know, we could have something like, oops, we could have like the typical hamburger menu, and that could drop down and give us, you know, the typical, you know, um, about, I don't know, mission statement or something. No, that's kind of the about. I don't even know. I don't even know what we would put in it. All right. So this is I'm gonna try to do some of this. We'll see how far we get. So first things first, this is the repo and it is public, and people are more than welcome to contribute. It's just like any other, I'll probably have to sign in here. Just bear with me, sorry, I gotta log in with my credentials, and the credentials change. So it's really no issue sharing my screen per se, but I thought I'd just kind of be extra paranoid. Where are we here? Sorry. I apologize for anyone that's watching this. That I stayed up last night watching Gordon Ramsay. We all binge silly things. So on the Amazon Prime, there was Gordon Ramsay teaching prison inmates how to make a product, and then he marketed the product at a local coffee chain, and I couldn't stop watching it. Okay. All right, so I'm logged in into my GitHub. This is where we're at, freeCodeCamp Barrie. So we're a study group for freeCodeCamp. This is the repo. So this is our website. There's instructions on how to set up. Basically, it's how to name the repo. So if you give it your username.github.io, that'll give you the free page. Now, I think there's limitations as far as what we can do, and we'll come up against those limitations. But right now, we just have bare bone basic HTML. So let me see. What I really love these days about GitHub is that they have code spaces now. So this was problematic a while back when I was trying to do some of these meetings. I'd have a Linux machine, and then it wouldn't have enough power, and then I would try to use my outdated Mac. Now I can just fire up a virtual machine right from GitHub. I do have I do pay a membership for GitHub to have these extra bells and whistles, but you don't need to do that. You can just do everything locally. Emulate. All right. So HTML page here. So it's well, I'm getting all these my plugins here. Okay, so to get started, rather than try to go right from scratch on how to build this website, I'm going to try to steal some code. I'm just kind of lazy that way. So I'm actually going to find what am I going to look? We're actually going to go to the freeCodeCamp website. And since I'm already logged in via my GitHub, I should be able to log in, no problem. Pretty good. So what we want is, oh, it looks like I have to do in the new curriculum. Interesting. Interesting. So the key words that we're after is responsive website. So responsive web, meaning that it doesn't matter if I'm looking at it on a smartphone or if I'm looking at it on a laptop, it's gonna show up as I intend. But I want to steal some code, so I'm gonna do a responsive web boilerplate. And looks like there's a few here. So we're going to look at the HTML5. It's the most popular front end template. Let's just take a look. Let's just look at this. So here's the repo. I was hoping people would attend this evening, so I wouldn't have to do the legwork of talking. Okay. All right, so this may be overkill too. This is just a framework. It would be nice to see usually some of these things, they have demos, like a demo site. So what I'm looking for is basically yeah, this looks like it's overkill for us. I just want to look for a simple, because we could try technically to do it from scratch, but dead simple responsive boilerplate. This looks exactly what. Skeleton. Oh, sorry, I was trying to open up. I download a zip file and I have to expand it, I think. I don't know if you can see my screen. Maybe you can just, I just shared screen in Chrome. So I don't know if you can see me. I'm basically just unzipping the folder. And I'm just gonna load this. Okay. So sweet. This looks like bare basic code we can just steal, and then we can tweak to our heart's content. It looks like they have some good documentation. This reminds me of Bootstrap. Whoops. Yeah, it looks responsive too. So let's actually look at the demo page that they provide. Try skeleton. Yeah. I mean, it's nice, it's simple, it's clean. We can tweak the code however we want. So let's do it, steal it. Let's steal the code. So I'm just gonna look at the HTML. Oops. Sorry. Let's view the page source here. Wow. So this is exactly what I was after. So if we go back to, where are we? There we go. Here was our HTML. It just said hello world. So I'm just gonna plop in the code I stole. I'm gonna save that. See if I can reload it. It might actually take a few minutes. It might actually take a few minutes to reload our changes. So I'm wondering if there's a slick way we can see it in our little virtual machine. Or maybe we just have to be patient here. I did save this, right? I might actually have to. Yeah, I have to commit, sorry. So get commit skeleton. Is that where I downloaded it from? Get skeleton. Oops. Get skeleton. Boilerplate. There we go. Push it. Okay, so now if I reload, we should see some changes. Maybe. Let's see. Here's our changes. I see our changes here, but it hasn't been reflected in the actual GitHub hasn't actually refreshed it yet. Yeah, it's still buffered, so to speak. So let's figure out how to do that. So how to refresh GitHub pages. If you want to edit or update your website, go to your repository, select upload files, or replace the previous one. So maybe it's cached on my end. Oh, there we go. Okay, finally updated. So it looks nothing like the code that we stole. Excuse me, the code that we stole. Here it is. So this is what it should look like. See, this tab here is loading from my, excuse me, from my local machine. So this is from my local machine, and this is, oops. And this is what we're seeing here. So what's missing is a bunch of these other folders. I don't know if they can show you the, yeah. So what I just took was the index HTML. What I still have to upload is images and the CSS, the Cascade style sheets. So hopefully I can add those real simple. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to add files. So let's see if we can just upload files. So let's just try this. So I'm actually have to create a directory, I think. Yeah. So let's see if this refreshes here. Well, I haven't committed it yet. Right. Oh my goodness. Code spaces. So I'm not seeing my additional files. I don't know why there's such a delay here. That's fine. Let's just see what happens here. Status. Okay, there's nothing. Okay. Seems to be a delay between the code space and what I'm actually putting on the public repo. Which is let's delete that one. Sorry, I am on low energy here. It's just awkward to be talking to myself. But we're going to make this entertaining. I'm going to do my best. All right, so I just had to shut down the code space, fire up a new one. Surprise, surprise, it started working again. So I uploaded two CSS files. Again, I haven't coded a single line. I have just stolen from everything from that Git skeleton website. It looks like they just have kind of a basic boilerplate. The only problem with stealing, obviously, is that there's going to be a ton of stuff here that we're just not going to use, or that we're going to want to change to our own flavor, so to speak. So we're going to move that in there. And that test file that I did, delete that file permanently. All right. So again, this is the localized version. It's what it should look like. And this is what our current club website looks like, our production, if you will. It hasn't uploaded yet, it hasn't updated yet. So while it's doing that, no big deal. I'm actually gonna finish uploading everything. So I'm gonna do, oops, not there, here. Where are we here? New folder. And I think it was images that I have to add. So there's the CSS and then there's images. Now, technically, it would have been easier if I just downloaded everything and just did it locally, but I want to play more with this code spaces. And I want to master it. It's just like any tool. It's like that Figma tool. I've dabbled with it, but I haven't used it enough to confidently say, okay, this is something in my my repertoire that I'm comfortable with. I'm getting at a level of comfort with using Git and GitHub. Like those are like even VS Code. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with. I wish I was a little bit more slick with the shortcuts. But just learning how to use the tools a little bit better can definitely put you ahead of competition if you're a competitive individual. It can also help you just sorry, brain fart. It can also help you just save you time. At my work, I don't know if I've talked about this before, or maybe I've done video presentations at work, but there's a simple, we use a lot of emulators to connect to our platform. And there's a way to set up your shortcuts. And somebody in the past, was kind enough to just show me how to, tweak a few things, nothing major. And it has been a lifesaver. And the reason why it's been a lifesaver is that I'm saving more keystrokes. An example, so just to kind of put a bow on this story is copy and paste. I don't know about you, but I do copy and paste all the time. It's just, highlight some text, copy, paste, right? On this platform, people, instead of setting up their shortcuts, they'll use the mouse. So every time they want to copy text, they have to draw a rectangle around it. Then they have to move their mouse up to a copy icon. Then they have to move it, where they want to paste it. They have to click down. They have to then click on another icon to paste. I saw a gentleman, he was at the tail end of his career, and he put 30, 35 years into his career, and he was still using the mouse method. And I mean, maybe the GUIs were introduced in the, second half of his career, whatever the case may be, but all those seconds he was wasting adds up to minutes, adds up to hours of just wasted, like, floundering around, kind of like what you're witnessing tonight about me. But yeah, basically just master your tools. Take the time to learn them a little bit. You don't have to become a master, but just level up here and there. All right, so I've added the folders. Let's just get this. Oops, I forgot to add that. Committing my changes here, get, commit. CSS, folder, push, get status. Okay, I think that's all coming together. What do we got here? It's looking good there. I still don't see my my images folder. I don't know why that wallaby keeps showing up. I downloaded a plugin extension. I'm gonna get rid of that now. Accelerated distraction free. It's enabled locally. I'm going to disable this thing. I was testing this out. I read something. They said, oh, you should definitely try this out. It's been nothing but a headache. Okay, so I'm just gonna So I don't have anything in my images. I could probably just do it here. So we're gonna add upload files. Let's do that, upload files. What to do. That's it. That's too funny. Just a slick way to. It's gonna give me nothing but heartache. Oh my God, things are out of sync. So the code space is always behind the repo on my machine here. Drive me crazy. How are we doing here? There we go. So this is actually, while I'm monkeying around with code spaces here, this is what our website looks like now. So what's happening is the CSS, the Cascade style sheets are working. That fave icon, that seems like it's a standard thing with every actually, let me verify that before I say the following. That if you look up in the tab at the top there, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving around, but see that S icon? That's what that fave icon is. So if we look at the source code here, I don't even know if we can get away with this. No, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at something else here. So yeah, so that fave icon that I just uploaded is the S to put in that tab, and I don't want that. I don't need a. So I'm actually going to delete this file. Yeah. All right. Now, why is this always? It seems like it's behind me. You've seen how I've made some changes, but it's not showing up. I do want to add images at some point, so I do want that folder there. I'm actually, no, I'm going to stick with this. So maybe images isn't showing up in the repo because it's an empty directory. So I haven't added anything per se. So let's just test out that theory. So let's go to Unsplash. This is a place to get royalty-free pictures. What do we want? Some pretty cool photos here. I'll find something silly. I wonder if I type in Barrie, what I'll get. Look at that. Look at some of these photos here. We have some gifted people. I think I know that guy. Looks like a friend of mine. Maybe not. Okay, so we have some talented people in Barrie. Photographically speaking here. I kind of like this one. Yeah. Very, very poetic. I like it. All right. So we have an image here. So what I want to do, just to test my theory out, upload. So let's see if we can upload a folder here. Just downloaded that one. Okay. So I have an images directory. I just added a royalty-free. I do have to give Matt King here some credit. That's the cool thing to do. So, all right, good. So now it's showing up. Since it's no longer just an empty directory, it's actually it's showing it up in the untracked files here. So I'm going to add that. So I bump this up. So I apologize if I'm just kind of firing off these commands and you don't know what's going on. We've covered this in a few of our previous meetups, so I'm not going to do this to death. There's plenty of videos and tutorials out there. See you, Bella. Of how to use Git and GitHub. I think our first meetup where we had our guest speaker, Chris, did an excellent job covering everything. So if we look at that, yep, excellent. So it's recognized that I've added that picture. So we can now commit it. Commit it means save our changes. A little message, added cool bike image. That has nothing to do with freeCodeCamp. It has nothing to do with anything. The only thing it's related to is Barrie. But it's kind of getting the template all sorted out. My dog I see in the background here, she never ever comes down here to say hi to me. So either there's thunder or somebody's firing off able command detection. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I'm having this little sign here. Shell integration is enabled. Command detection. Interesting. All right, so Git status. I just want to make sure. Yep, everything's good. I'm going to push. So I'm pushing all my changes to the repo. Aha. I'm going to see if I can do something here. Force, yeah. What was happening there is that there was miscommunications. They were saying there was something updated on the repo that it wasn't. So I had to pull the changes from the repo before I could upload my changes. So I was experiencing some miscommunication there in real time, and evidently the repo did as well. So, but I think we're good. We did. We said the heck with it, and we pushed everything up. So let's see what we got here. So our website here. So let's just monkeying around. So we have some code that we're thankful that somebody gave us a nice little boiler boilerplate to start off with. And the reason why I did that is there's some of this stuff that I have yet to really kind of commit to memory. This is just like standard metadata, like the character set, this exclamation doc type, like all these little nitty gritty things. If I need to make a HTML page locally, I could do that quick and dirty. But as the browsers become more sophisticated, like Chrome and that, they're looking for this information. And if this information isn't there, it may flag it. And so I'm not showing this website because I don't trust it. So we saved ourselves a lot of headache, so to speak, here. But you notice they kind of gave us all these wonderful comments to kind of to do things here. So we can start doing something like freeCodeCamp Barrie and content. I mean, we could put in I'm gonna throw my name in here. I'll put my GitHub there we go. I think I can just get away with that. Coding nonprofit. I don't know if it has to be semicolons or if you can just, these are like tags, right? So I'll have to circle back to that just to make sure. Now there are several ways to keep track of things when making a to-do list. It's easy to do everything in GitHub here. So this may be, I like to make more work, busy work. Because that's just, so every project, I mean, I wish we did this more at my work, but there's a ton of ways to keep track of things. What I love are called Kanban boards. There's a great talk Kanban by the Xbox gentleman. This guy here, Agile Project Management with Kanban by Eric Breckner. This is just a wonderful talk. I was really impressed. He did his whole talk using a Kanban. So he took questions from the audience, wrote it on a sticky, he threw it on a whiteboard, and then he did real-time talk explaining how Kanban works by doing a Kanban exercise in front of. I thought it was a creative way to talk about it. So if you have some time, talks at Google, you can learn a lot of great stuff. And that was a gem I kind of stumbled on. So Kanban. If probably the most popular Kanban is Trello. What we're going to use is just in GitHub here. They have MVP. So MVP is minimal viable product. So there we go. Kanban style. Ooh, this looks interesting. But we're just going to stick with the basic stuff. So minimal viable product. That's what we're after. I'm just going to do public. do that one. There we go. Okay. So this is Trello. Like I said, Trello is probably the most famous Kanban out there. And you can automate this out to the nines. You can also use different plugins. ZenHub was really fun. I used that for a Chingu cohort. So if you're someone like me that likes to nerd out on process, ZenHub is really cool. Looks like they're, yeah. So you can use the free one and really play around with ZenHub. It's basically what you see here, but on steroids. So I'm leaving myself a note in case I forget to circle back, but I just want to verify meta in head. Look at that. And we can actually, oops, clicked on me, on my mug. And can actually convert this to an issue. So there, let's edit this. No, let's manage automation. All right, to do. Sure, let's just pick all that. Do the same thing here, add an automation, to do, in progress. Very good. Sure. This is overkill. This is like classic Pauly Will procrastination. Okay, so I think I'm just going to check here. Convert to issue. Okay, so what I want to check is this stuff here. All this stuff, all this meta stuff, I do want to verify at some point. I don't want to spend too much time doing actual work. No, Googling now, because we can always like just circle back. I think that's what I want. Can I do that? Oh, yeah. Verify description. Syntax. I could actually probably answer this with a 5-minute Google search, but it's fun to circle back. Other meta. So, okay, so we got our first issue here. Let's go here. Let me just see here. So I'm gonna eventually go back and just do that 5-minute check. So I still have to do that. So the idea is I'm going to make cards in my to-do column. And then when I'm going to work on them, I'm going to move it over to doing. And then when we're finished, we're going to do done. So this is just like a glorified to-do list on steroids. And it's a way to kind of track everything within the repo. And so, you know, depending how long I want to keep going for. And I apologize if somebody was in the lobby and I wasn't paying attention. I don't think that was the case. I think it's just been me this whole time talking to myself. But in the event that I tap out in the next hour or so because I'm having way too much fun, I want to save it for another night, I can go back to these items. Whereas in the past, if I tried to do it, you know, via paper or a notepad, and I save it to my desktop, and you know, things get lost, right? This, I like to keep everything in a project, either in the folder or in a document, or using GitHub's little bells and whistles here. That way, just like any project, you get bored with it, you move on to something else, you come back, you're like, oh yeah, here's a little breadcrumb, and you can kind of pick up where you left off. It's the same thing about why we leave comments in code is because when you come back to it, you want to remember, like, what the hell was I thinking? So again, let us tweak this out a little bit here. So the other thing I want to add here is I want to add a new fave icon, sorry. So going back to here, I'm going to add our own icon. That should be converting this automatically. I don't know why that's not doing that. But. So the other thing too that I'm doing here, you see how I'm doing these, I don't know if you could see that here. This is called markup. Markup or markdown? I think it's called markdown. And I love markdown. I love me some markdown. It's really easy to kind of to make documents in GitHub. And this is a little cheat sheet you can look up real quick. So what I just did there is the code syntax. So you can actually specify which kind of code you're using, and it'll highlight it. So we can actually try that. But that's what those 3 ticks is. If I was just trying to do, and it's that back tick, it's not a single quote, it's that back tick. So under on my keyboard, it's under the escape key, under the squiggly accente. What's it called? Tealy? I forget what it's called. But anyways, the back tick is, if you just did a single one, that's how you highlight code. If you want to do a whole chunk, you just do it with 3 codes. So that's what I was doing there. 3 codes. And we're going to make our own fave icon. So ideally, maybe we'll make our own little, we actually do have, if you see that little, of the spirit catcher, that's my little hack job that I did a long time ago. So maybe I can steal that and use it as our fave icon. It'll be a tiny little nothing on people's tab when they look at it in a browser. So it's a nice little touch. Again, this is how I'm making a checkbox, is putting a dash and then an open square bracket. So right now it looks like nothing, but when we actually look at the issue on GitHub, you'll see in a second here. So perhaps use the spirit catcher as the icon. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I just want to look at our issues here. Yep. Good. You see how that little dash open square brackets turned it into a checkbox. So I mean, I can check that off later on, just as they're nice, gratifying issues. So we have 2 cards now on our board here. Make our little favecon, verify some stuff here. We're just making lots of work for ourselves. This is how I like to make things here. So this setup here, 1/2 column, this is very similar to on freeCodeCamp. They actually walked through the legacy program. I noticed they still have it there, but they've kind of they've labeled it their old curriculum. Bootstrap, which is the framework that was made by Twitter. They actually talked about this, taking advantage of their class system. So if we look at their classes here, we should see, maybe it's in skeleton here. Yeah, so skeleton, it'll show you, they've kind of set up a lot of stuff for us already. So again, this is the lazy way of making a website, is just taking a wonderful framework where somebody already did kind of like this beautiful standard kind of whatever, and you can just use it to your heart's delight. Now we could, if we want to, we could just say the heck with using skeleton CSS, which we may in the future if we're feeling bold. But you notice how here it says 1 column here. So if I go here, 1/2 column actually. So 1/2 column, 1/3, 1/2 column, it's a width of 48%. And I like this little feature here. You can actually, I think, boom, this is is this Mozilla? Yeah. Mozilla gives us the, see, I'm in dark mode here. Oh, it's bright. But they show you what the width property is, and they give you the code, and so they show you little examples here. And we can actually, I think, yeah, kind of play around with this. So let me change it. So that's what shows you the width feature. So this is pixels, this is EM. I don't know what the heck that stands for. Should learn that. I'm going to learn something today. HTML, CSS. What does EM stand for? And ephemeral unit? Oh my goodness. Ephemeral unit. Ephemeral, I'm probably butchering that. English is my first language, believe it or not. Ephemeral unit, which is relative to the current font size. For example, if the current font size is set to 16 pixels, then the bottom padding would be set to 116 pixels. There you go. Interesting. All right, so they gave us all this wonderful stuff that we're using to our heart's delight here. So all we're going to do is start changing some of this. So this is a header, this header for tag. So we're just going to do freeCodeCamp Barrie. Now we're going to change, we're just going to delete this whole thing here. We're going to say, welcome to our study groups website. Come here for event. Let's do for meeting. Actually, I don't know what kind of fluffy stuff we're going to say. Basically, I'll just say what we currently are doing. We meet monthly meet monthly to practice and talk about coding, all its glory. To say we are a local group in Barrie-Ontario that meet monthly Barrie-Ontario in all its glory. We often reference, just gonna draw a new line here. We often reference freeCodeCamp curriculum. We often reference the freeCodeCamp. So we can actually, since we're so cool, we're gonna put a little link here for the actual website. So that there, they are HTTPS. Curriculum. That will discuss venture to different topics. To topics. I don't know, something like that. Oh man, it doesn't word wrap, does it? I'm sure there's a way to activate word wrap. Welcome to our study group's website. Come here to see, I don't know, come here to see our meeting, our next meeting. Sure. Good enough. Okay, so that's that. There's not a heck of a lot we have to change. This font is referencing Railway font. So it says Alt click. So it's referencing this API from Google. Actually do Google font Railway. That's what that looks like. Sure. I mean, we may change it in the future. So they have that style sheet, the font, and then they link in the style sheets. Normalized. We didn't really dip into normalized. What was that all about? We'd have to read the documentation. Oops. Normalized. All inputs are normalized. So that's interesting. I don't know why they it really, I don't know. This individual kind of cut up the style sheets. It's a normalized. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why he did that. Normalize. This looks like all kind of. So these are things we could tweak as well. This looks like all like inputs and stuff, and for forms and stuff. Where this also uses like it drives me crazy when I see stuff like this. So this seems like it's more specific to fonts and colors and the look, and normalized is about the inputs. I mean, there could be 50 or 60 different style sheets, and a lot of frameworks that that's exactly what ends up being the case. The only problem is trying to hunt down the issues. And I can't speak with expertise on why you would want to have multiple style sheets. But this is where, like I said, what was driving me crazy is like, yeah, they'll have body here. So they've set things for body. And then if we go into normalize, you'll see here, body here. So hopefully they're not using the same. Thankfully they don't, but I've seen some where they'll have them, and I've fallen this into a trap as well. If I add a style sheet and I forget that I'm using something else that has another style sheet, and they both use margin, and margin and one of them says 0, the other says 2, and then another one says 1.5, and then you're trying to troubleshoot a moving target. You're like, where do I change the value? And it's like you're making a recursive issue or headache. So I don't recommend it. Okay, so the other thing that we can play with is this. If I can steal this name here. Okay, because what I want to do is just throw an image in there. Because what we did here is we say freeCodeCamp area, and then say we howdy doody, and then I would like to put just a random image down, and maybe they actually have a style sheet in here of images. Let's see. There's probably, again, in the documentation that they've provided here, examples. This image. Let's just throw an image in here. Make sure elements don't run outside containers. Great for images and columns. I don't know about that. Oh well. So let's throw an image. I accidentally indented that. Okay, so that should be like that. Now what are we gonna do? Image. I can't believe I'm blanking on. I like this linking. This is good. Image source. That's right. Class source. Alt. Gosh, this is why these meetings are. I don't know if anyone else gets anything out of these meetings, but it's definitely. gets the rust off me here. Images. And I did have that in my clipboard, but I moved it. So class is where we would, and I don't see a class I can use right off the hop here. Text area, list, code, table, spacing, utilities. I think we'll use that one. Can I do that one? Yeah, I can do that one. I think, let's see. Then get away with it. Beautiful, beautiful Barrie. We can get rid of that. I think that's good. What's going on here? This are all our changes untracked, I think. So let's confirm that get status, get commit. Tweet. Index. Image. Push origin name. There we go. How many tabs do I have open this time? Actually, not too bad. Let's close that. So that hasn't updated yet. Says, so this is interesting, Dom. It's actually, I'm doing a check here. See how there's this little yellow. It's actually GitHub is running its own test. So that's why it's taken a while. So it's actually building everything. And we can, and now it's deploying. So it did a bunch of tests to see if everything was running correctly. And then it deployed, so we should see it. All right. Wow. Ain't that a beaut? Okay, so obviously the image is too large. So we're gonna have to shrink that down a little bit. So I'm wondering if we can put that a nice little, let's go back to skeleton. Let's see here. Let's do 11. See if 11 do the trick. Let's see how this works here. So I just type in 11. 11 columns is the change I want to do. So instead of full width, I'm just going to put in this class, 11 columns. Actually see changes. Okay, so get, oh, sorry, get commit. Changed image width, column width. Oops, column width. It's good that we can actually. I was constantly, why isn't it updating? Why isn't it updating? It's because they're running internal tests just to make sure everything's cool. It's good. That's smart. That's DevOps at its finest. So now we have a nice little graph to watch as it runs. And the last few builds, I think it's been pretty quick. So that's 20 seconds, 27 seconds to build it. And then I have no idea what's going on here. I mean, this is obviously GitHub's internal jobs. So we should see our changes now. Maybe not. Maybe. Let's just see if we're looking at the same code here. So 11 columns. So yeah, it is using our new code, but that picture is way too big. So let's see if we can actually tweak this real time. I've seen people do this before, and what I'm doing is kind of amateur hour. So let's take this out for a second. Again, this is an example of an opportunity to learn our tools a little bit better. I'm just going to try something here. So if we put in, let's say, 5 columns, what does that do? Does it do anything? It doesn't do a damn thing. Maybe I'm not using. Maybe I'm not using this correctly. Div class, 2/3, 1/2, 1 column, 1. Okay, so maybe instead of using dots, just get rid of that. Yeah, I shouldn't have used the dots. Okay, so if I do 11, 11 columns. That's kind of cool. I don't know. That's kind of cool. I don't know. All right, so we've gone through all this just to get a little website on here. Let's just check everything over here. So freeCodeCamp Barrie, welcome to our study group's website. We are a local group in Barrie-Ontario that meet monthly to practice and talk about coding in all its glory. We often reference the freeCodeCamp.org curriculum, but will venture to different topics. Come here to see next meeting details. And the link is working. That's good. So we could do a few fun things. We could actually I like Wikipedia. That's just me. So we can change the link for that. Okay, so what did we change here? We changed that to 11 columns without the dots. So 11 columns. So me here, I don't know if this is self-explanatory, but I'm just tweaking things within the browser using Chrome DevTools. And you can hit that by, well, I know the shortcut key on mine. So this is a Windows machine, Control-Shift-C. Brings up these development tools. And this, I can't even get into this. There's a ton of stuff here just on DevTools for Chrome. For example, I know there's this thing here where Lighthouse, it basically runs an audit on your website to see if it would be Googleable, if it would show up on search results, if everything's formatted correctly. Basically, Google is holding your hand saying, hey, make the website better for us to exploit and profit and all that stuff. So this doesn't have our new change yet. So obviously, I'm going to suspect that it's going to complain about that image. Okay, so look at that. So the performance right now is 46%. And that's because look at the size of this image. This image, I didn't tweak it down, so it's exploding it out. Obviously, that's slowing things down. So performance is bad. Everything else is accessibility, best practices, SEO. It's all good. PWA, that's Google's own like performance website. I don't know about it enough, but basically it's like a super fast website. But performance. So let's see. I'm going to do that change. I'm going to shrink the image down, just like you saw I did when I was tweaking the code around. And this is where I'm multitasking, sorry. I'm going to put a link on Barrie-Ontario for those that are curious about our beautiful city, the good and the bad and the ugly. I'll put a little link in there. And then this was getting a little crowded here at the bottom. So I'm actually going to make this a new paragraph. And that should just come here for details on our meetings. Very ambiguous. That's the purpose of this website. All right. So I think that'll work. So again, let's just do get status. We're going to commit the changes. Rank image. Edited the text. It's good enough. Push origin. I always thought I had to put the branch main, but it looks like the last time I did a push, I just left it out and it automatically realized I only had one branch. And so I skipped that whole main altogether. Okay, that's good. And we'll probably see here again, it's running its tests. Yep. Oops. Details. Okay, so we do have to do kind of using our Figma my brutal pen and paper design here. And I honest to God, I want to learn how to use Figma a little bit better. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can tweak this around. Let's just get rid of everything. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, so that's right now we have kind of the about us container. And let's see if everything's updated here. There we go. So I shrunk the paper down, added another link here. Bloop. There you go. If people are curious, they can go to the Wikipedia page. And the main objective I'm trying to do is to get away from using Facebook. I have a bone to pick with Facebook for a lot of things, but the one thing, I just don't use it anymore. I don't think I'm a unique case. I don't think a lot of people are using Facebook per se. You know, we're using a lot of, you know, like other websites to do things. So what I'm looking for is just a way to get off of Facebook. And so I'm tempted not to put a link to our Facebook group page link. I want to circumvent that, but what I may add at the very end is just a small button to link to our Facebook page. I don't know. So I'm going to run this Lighthouse. Let's do this again. Oh. How do we run this again? New report. Oh, okay, cool. So the performance was 46 last time. Let's see if we can improve that just by shrinking that image down, if it's made a difference. And you can see they're showing what it looks like on a cell phone. Ha! So there you go. That's an example of just shrinking a huge image down. And you'll notice that as some people that they're not professional website developers, they'll just slap in huge images. The real web developers that do it for a living, and I'm not one of them, I'm a hack. I do it on the weekends and on evenings whenever I have time. They'll know to optimize every single little thing. They'll tweak the image, they'll tweak the graphics, right? Because if you have a huge image that's a couple megapixels, it means nothing to you. You just slap it. Oh yeah, that looks good. It works on my machine. But when somebody goes to run a report, or when they go to look at it on their cell phone, I mean, it's going to take forever to load, and that's why we saw a negative performance review before at a 46%. So chances are you're going to get hosed, right? Like, I mean, maybe Google will penalize you for not having a very optimized website that's, you know, encourages people to view and et cetera, et cetera. All right, so what I'm going to do here, see if I can do a screenshot. I wonder if I can get away with this. Aha, okay. So this is what we have so far-ish. Okay, so the issue I wanted, to anyone with link, yeah, copy link. To do so. Event details. As per Figma design. And then we'll actually just tweet that out. So here again, I'm going to do some markdown. So this is why I love markdown so much, is that I just put what I want the link to say in square brackets, and then I put the link in regular parentheses. We want the details of next event in clickable banner / box, something like that. And now if we go here, oops, there we go. I don't understand what's going on here. Ah, you know what? I know what's going on here. Okay. Club's website. Save. I don't know if I can associate this. Projects. Sure. What happened was I was trying to create a project for this repo, and what I accidentally did was create a project for our organization, which is the club. And I'm just trying to think of how to get the project over to a repo here. Tracking items for, yeah, it looks like. Kind of stinks because whatever. I wish it was associated to the repo. No big deal. It would be nice if edit. Oh, settings. Maybe we can do it here. Linked repositories. Yeah, Oh, well, yeah, no. It seems like I have to do an extra few steps. When you put a project in the repo itself, I don't get into these little whatever. It's not a I'm belly aching over the fact that I have to do a few extra clicks. Ignore me. Ignore my mumbling to myself. All right, so we have the link into here, methinks. Figma design. That takes us to this. Yep. Okay, that's good. So we want, I think, that next event. There we go. I think I'm figuring this out now. Next event. Just trying to think of sure. Next event, and then we could add image and dates, stuff like that. It almost should be like I don't even know what to call it. If I don't even know if he has something here, or if we're gonna have to steal something. What I want is like, yeah, we might have to make something ourselves. It's almost like it's called like an event card. It's kind of like a something like this, right? Event cards. Like this. See that? Ugh. Ugh. This is. Ugh. This is not my regular, let's just say browsing machine, so I don't have any pop-up blockers. This is where you get all this BS, right? All these ads popping up and stuff. This is what's ruined the internet, in my opinion. That's neither here nor there. So something like this. This is like over the top, but let's see. Let's see how. Oh yeah, look at that. This is in a code pen too. Yeah. That is nice. That's cool. And they're using, if you're looking at this going, what the hell's going on? Pug. They're using a different kind of, I don't even know what to call it. I don't know the fancy terminology. It's like transpiling. It's like translating into a different code. It's adding, in my opinion, it's adding abstraction on top of HTML or CSS. So it's almost like, in a way, Markdown for HTML. Pug is a JavaScript library that was previously known as Jade. It is an easy to code template engine used to code HTML in a more readable fashion. One upside to Pug is that it equips developers to code reusable HTML documents by pulling data dynamically from the API. Whatever. I don't know enough to badmouth it or give it a good mouth. It's when I look at it, it is very readable. And I mean, for our purposes, we can kind of reverse engineer this pretty quickly. I'm a thief. I'm a thief when it comes to really great design. I like this card. So this is where I'm just going to tweak around things here. Just want to see what happens here. Aha, okay. Oh, come on. You don't need that stuff. Like, it's really slick. I like the shadow and everything. There's a lot going on in here, right? Obviously, these links, these images aren't linked to anything. That's a neat design. So we actually don't need, like, this is for a blog card. I wonder, this is just me thinking here. Copy image address. So what I'm playing around here is CodePen. I used to play around with this quite a bit. You can use CodePen, I think. There's a ton of these out here. Code Sandbox is another one. Chris, on our first meetup, virtual meetup, he showed us how to do that. But I just want to see here. There's our image. Just plug that in. Okay, let's see. Bike repair. Like a coder, I don't know, something ridiculous. Box shadow. It actually sounded like a legit box shadow. WebKit shadow. There's a lot going on here. So let's see here. So they have a bootstrap for awesome fonts. HTML preprocessor. That's what that pug is. They're also using Sass. There's a whole section on freeCodeCamp that covered Sass. I went through the curriculum, but I forget everything. It's just a different kind of format for CSS. That box. Moz box. Shadow effects. Ah, look, see, here's some shadow effects. That box is really cool right there, right at the top there. Box shadow. So WebKit box shadow. Box shadow, whole section here. It's that blur too. Spread. Try this out. What do they have here? Let's see what these do. These are the parameters here. Sorry, I'm kind of stuck in my head here. You just see me. Code. I had nice commentary at the beginning, but I'm just kind of in the zone now here. Just kind of interesting, eh? So see how they just kind of. So I don't know if I really even like the. I don't know what that fourth parameter is all about. Be some kind of radius or something. It seems excessive. That's more like it. Kind of like that. Interesting. Let's try this. I have no idea. This whole, I don't know if that's specifically for Mozilla and WebKit. I have no idea what that's all about. It's okay. I see what it did there. It added a kind of a hard line on that image. It seems like, I mean, it's not bad. What I would have done is, my mouse is dying. This battery is dying. I would have shrunk this. I would have done this a little bit differently. I would have put just the image inside the box because they got too many things going on here. I mean, when I first looked at it, it was like, oh, there's a lot going on here. It's interesting. Really, we need is just something like this. like just a simple box with a shadow. I'm curious what that whole WebKit, it looks like a Mozilla. Just curious, WebKit box shadow. Oh, look at that. Box shadow. This might be going back a few years. This is 2011. So it might not even be applicable. Those are maybe old parameters. Those might have been depreciated. See if we can find some kind of reference. See this WebKit. It's not quite what we're after. Non-standard. This feature is non-standard. Is not on all standards tracks. Do not use it on production sites facing the web. Interesting. Let's try the other one too. Mods. What's that? Mods. Let's just pick one of these. These might be, aha, again, not standard. So this particular coder is using features that are not standard. It's like the hidden, if the browser can use this feature, use it. If it's not, don't use it. We're going to stay away from those just altogether. I don't know why they did that. I think it's almost like to cover their bases. They have it everywhere. This might actually be quite old. I don't know. Let's see, when did he make this? Is there any intel? Huh. Well, he follows me. I wonder if that's new. This guy does a lot of neat stuff. It's cool. Or no, those are the pens that he loved. I see. This one, this is the one. I want to know if there's information. It doesn't really tell you when he made this. That's too bad. Okay, well, if it's not a standard, I'm not going to use it. So, what are we going to do here? I'm just going to play around with this. Get rid of this. This blank. Let's do big gray. Something like that. So light gray one word. Colors. Let's see here. I don't know what to do here. I kind of know what I want, but I don't know what I want. Something like that. Okay. Technically, I don't care. It's just a design, right? We can aim for that without totally copying. Shoot. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Ooh, drop shadow. Let's do something like that. I don't know. All right. At some point, we're going to have to make a tool or a utility to update the event. And that could be the next meeting, trying to figure out how to do that. So it's not this task every single time to change the code just to get the next event page. Maybe we can make some kind of quick JavaScript utility or whatever the case may be. But so this is kind of what we're aiming for. Kind of events of some sort. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to play with design. Just get there it is. All right. So, oh, sorry, all lost here. Something. I don't know where we throw the social links, to be honest. I hate to do Facebook, but whatever. We're gonna need YouTube at some point. I think I even, for the club of all things, I set up Instagram. Instagram, Twitter, the whole thing. I don't know. I actually would love to use actual, that would be playful. Um, this is called a hamburger icon. You see it everywhere, right? It would be fun to actually make a real hamburger icon, um, and put it in our design just for fun. Um, I don't know. Have some fun with that. Yeah, and I think, sorry, I think I even set up an Instagram at one point, um, for our website. It did actually, uh, I'm part of a Toastmaster, two Toastmasters clubs currently, and we'll try, Facebook, we'll try this, we'll try that. A lot of people, predominantly the target audience of most consumers and users seems to be Instagram. So it's funny how some things are just, you throw it on there, you're just trying to get as many funnels out there to kind of, or social touch points to get people, whatever, right? It's not really about our stickiness, it's about kind of setting the tone or whatever. I don't know, sorry, I'm sticking my head here. I'm getting tired, everybody. Everybody, a single person, me, that's gonna edit the video later. All right, so that's what our current website is. I actually think it would be fun, and I mean, this is what it looks like on a, pick what you want here. It's my cell phone. It would be interesting to have a section of the current projects we're working on, or some of our members, our usual members that do show up. It depends how comfortable they are as far as that goes. So this is events. Touch points. From hamburger. So it'd be fun to do all these little kind of, to work on these little things here. Oops, try it. Yeah. Projects. I don't know. We've been doing a lot of Python lately. Um, wonder if you can you do like radius. I bet. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at them apples. Good Lord. Projects. This doesn't have to be a large, this is more like a little note to ourselves. I like the, let's see if I can do it. It's a little excessive. Oh, come on. No. I'm sure there's ways to like, to rotate that. But there's, I'm learning all sorts of neat tricks here. Yeah, watch this. Watch this. Oh, this is fun. Just kind of learning how to use this thing. This is cool. And then I can group these together. Okay, look at that. I'm gonna group these together. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Some other projects. The one that we worked on, I was trying to get everyone to work away on was the rubber ducky project. We were trying to hack together this little thing to is that a better picture? I'm taking this. Ugh. So hard to get a. How about we go with this one? Rubber duck. Let's try to put this down to size. Actually, I wonder if I could just okay, then this. Oops. Here. we don't really have, we just have kind of a loyal following, a loyal bunch of people that show up. How do I center this? Oh, well, it's like that. And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, and this is one of those ideas if only if people are up for it, right? Some of our members, I suspect, will like privacy, and so as such, we should recognize that accordingly. I just help. Just remember that. Let's do something. Oh, before I forget. Alrighty, so it is almost 9:30. I might pull the plug on this. All I've done is design, stole code, set things up. So this is what the website would look like, more or less on a cell phone, I think. You'd be kind of scrolling up. The hamburger menu would take you to these different sections. So we'd have members, projects, events, all that good stuff, social touch points. The color theme is up for discussion, obviously. Right now it's nothing. There's no coherent theme tying things together. If you look at the actual freeCodeCamp website, they got their own I forget what it's called, the modernist, this whole thing. I forget the theme that they came up with. It's really cool. It was really hard to get used to at first. Like, I don't know if I like this theme, but I've gotten used to it. And I did reach out to the founder of freeCodeCamp, Quincy Larson. He's really cool, but if you ever want to volunteer for freeCodeCamp, he's always looking for go-getters. I wish I was time rich, that I could dedicate more time to helping out on freeCodeCamp. However, where was I going with this? I was asking him if it was okay if we still had these meetings and we had guest speakers, and like if he was cool with us kind of doing our own thing and calling ourselves freeCodeCamp Barrie, because we're still using freeCodeCamp quite a bit. But sometimes we, like I said, we're like I typed out there, we go into different discussions. I remember our one meeting, I got a guest speaker to talk about electronics, how to just kind of a soldering tutorial, and it was, it was just different. And Quincy said, yeah, as long as you follow the freeCodeCamp guidelines. I forget what he said. Code of conduct, maybe. Code of conduct guidelines. Yeah, here it is. The freeCodeCamp code of conduct. So he says, as long as you follow this and you make it a friendly place to learn code, he's like, yeah, go nuts. And so we've kind of just kept to this. I like it. Be nice, no harassment, trolling, or spamming. And he's really cool. I mean, if you actually ask a question to Quincy Larson, more times than not, he'll get back to you. He's I don't know how he does it, to be honest. And at some point in his life, he learned Mandarin. So I'm very amazed just the skill set. All right, so I want to do a bit of something. I don't want to just leave it as is. So let's get a template going here. Come here for details on our. Okay. So this is a good actually link to that too. Come here for all for details on our upcoming meetings. Okay, so then busted wheel. That's his name. It's going to be at H3, I think. I don't know. We're going to see here in a second. Let's just take that. Oops. Let's take a look at here. Let's go back to this. Let's try something here. H3. Events. I'm doing wrong. Ah, okay. Why isn't it spaced out? H3 is that whole section there. Is it another H4? Yeah, sorry, I went. You're supposed to go from the top heading down. So I went from an H4 and then I tried to shoot up to an H3. But I'm curious about the spacing here. Maybe I gotta use a row. Okay, let's just try that. Okay, let's try it. Oh yeah, shoot. No, come on. Just testing things out here. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I kind of want a row there. Maybe it needs to be in its own div. I like this. Not a BR, not a break, but that line. Straight line divider. Is it just HR? Let's give it a whirl. And then see nothing, no difference. Oh, I do see it. Look at that. It's right there. But what is going on here? Ugh, this is ugly. What's going on? Okay, so this is a row. This whole thing is a row. This is not really what I was after. This should be its own row too. I would just take this whole damn thing. Okay. Let's just see. Let's just try this. It would be a lot easier if I just had a VS Code set up. I might just do that actually here. Let's just do that. I don't know why I'm trying to make things more difficult. Oh. Let's see if Visual Code works on my machine. Ooh. I'm good for another 15 minutes. I swear. Oh, you can't see. I'm not sharing my, yeah, I'm only sharing my browser. Okay, well, let's just try something here. I want to see. Should be its own kind of row. Div class. That, like that. Put all that there. Let's make another row. I don't know if this is the ideal for this framework, but we're going to assume it is. Like that. And then what I had here. Something like this. What we're going to do. That away. Four. That's kind of just keeping with our Figma design. Projects. Members. Something like that. Alrighty. What do we have? Get status. Get commit. And update. Updated index. Sure. Push origin. This is still trying to connect. Yeah, VS Code doesn't really like this computer. Oh, right, sorry. And I wanted to put a little mention of our code of conduct. We're an easygoing group. And add here. Add here. Add here. Add. add here. Adhere, not adhere, adhere to the free code camp code of conduct. To the FreeCodeCamp's code of conduct. Okay. What's interesting about FreeCodeCamp, a number of years ago, I mean, they had different certificates, front end, back end, data, you know, and then it just kept changing, and they kept updating the curriculum, and it just kept growing, and more volunteers, and I've been just really impressed. And like I said, I wish I was time rich. I would, I love helping out. Especially around October, they have what's called the Hacktoberfest. And that's really how I kind of got addicted to helping out with FreeCodeCamp, is because they had they were looking for volunteers to help process pull requests, and Lance kind of did me a quick tutorial, and he kind of vouched that I was who I said I was. And then he made me a moderator, and I think I had moderator privileges for a few things for FreeCodeCamp. And I feel really bad that I can't do more. But they have really some enthusiastic coders that are just making a world of difference. And where my brain was kind of going with that is just how they're able to keep up with what's kind of trending. And Lance is always, not Lance, sorry, Quincy. I don't know why I always call him Lance. Quincy Larson. He's always making these great newsletters of free tutorials. So let's just hold off on that update for now. Nice. Okay. Kind of come together. All right. Okay. That's projects members. So see that if I was a proper developer, I'd have two websites, one test and one production. Because technically this is open up to the public, and if they go, all they're going to see is these kind of these headers that don't do anything per se. I'm not crazy about the spacing here, so I'm wondering if I still haven't quite figured out this framework at its best. It's actually pretty good responsive-wise. Anyways, it's nothing fancy. It's just a simple. Just a simple setup. Okay. What I'm going to do is just, I'm going to, I'm just going to put in all this and some comments. Code of conduct to the upcoming meetings. So we kind of have something to aim for. It'd be nice if you know, I had some other people tonight to kind of bounce off ideas. They say, Jan, Paul, like, who cares? I'm just going to plug away on this. What would be fun is just to figure out some, because it's a basic website, right? It's responsive. It's doing well with Lighthouse. It's very vanilla. It's very simple HTML, CSS, no JavaScript yet. It would be fun to code without stealing other people's, like doing a copy pasting coding, is to figure out how to add neat little tiny vector animations or even CSS animations for the hamburger menu, for the social touch points, maybe even for our events, maybe like kind of come in, kind of kung fu-y like our projects, maybe, you know, some kind of just some simple little fun things to play around with. And it just kind of adds, you know, adds to our learning experience, how to just add these little things, but also how do you get rid of this damn thing? I guess just zoom out. Yeah, that's all I can think of, really. It's not a heavy duty website. There's really no, when I was kind of thinking out loud there, and this will have to go on our to-do list for our MVP and to do. Make an app update easily. So how would we do that? That's where I would like to talk to the group. Because obviously we want we want to at least make it so that myself and our members, the regular members that attend or that have privilege to some of our repos, can update the events, where we don't want just some spammer or some bot going in, posting something inappropriate, right? So there does have to be some kind of level of control, but at the same time, it shouldn't be this arduous task of like tweaking each of these cards every single time there's an event. It should be easier than using Facebook. One of the reasons I hate Facebook is that it's like, sometimes it's like, it's just too much. It's overwhelming. It used to be just kind of very basic, and you know, they've tried to add as much stickiness as possible, which is kind of ruined their. Anyways, that's just my personal feelings. But there's got to be a slick way just to add a few details to a text box, hit a button, and bang. And there's got to be a way internally for us to have that ability. So it'd be neat. It'd be neat to have a little discussion. Maybe we need like a members or an admin section on this page. I don't even know if you can do that with GitHub pages. Maybe we do have to just make an app that just generates the HTML and we just copy and paste it and bang, or we make a button that automatically updates the index HTML. I'm not sure. There's a ton of ways to skin this cat, so to speak. And same thing with the members. There should be some kind of autonomy for each of the members to update their profile pic. What I would suggest, and I've seen this in a few repos, just going to freeCodeCamp chapter GitHub. They have this little section here on their README where they just have everyone's profile picture. There's my little contribution for a tiny doc, although I wrote some tests, so technically that should be updated as well. So their README, where is it? Yeah, this little table down at the bottom. That's crazy that it's they went to that length. There's no way. You see my name? Yeah, look at that. There's no way they did that. I'm going to try something here. Sit, control. So I am user 602 602422. Interesting. So they actually took the time to write that out. That's impressive. You can use the all contributors bot to automate acknowledging contributors to your open source projects. Yeah, so I wonder how they do that usage. Oh, okay. Interesting. So maybe there's another file there and it's generated. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Ah, cool. Okay. Doc. Interesting. Version 4 just shrinks it down, I assume. That's cool. Version 4. Was version 3. Version 3. From your alternate file update. Huh. That's interesting. I thought they're using something that this all contributors. I thought that was they did something slick there, and they did, obviously. But yeah, I was wondering how they generated this. So we could do something similar. Sorry, stuck in my head here. We could do something similar where we for our members. But anyways, that's another day. So get status. What's this? It's the same thing. Get status. Good. Get commit. AM commented. Sections. Yeah, push origin. Okay. So while that's updating, I'm just gonna add a few things just to kind of when I say add a few things, I mean add a few items to our issues, just so if we ever circle back to this project, we can always add that. So add neat CSS or JS animation for some of the items, sites, items. It would be fun. Be fun to make the hamburger menu some animation for the other menu items. Projects, etc. All right. Okay, and then we're going to do another issue, members section. Would any of the usual suspects want their GitHub avatar added? Close site. Look at all contributors. Was used for the FCC chapter project readme at the bottom. See. Chapter. So I'm just adding, I'm adding some issues, I'm adding some link. We have 5 things. So I'm just seeing, hang on a second here. Again, wonder if we could just repeat website. Just playing around here, sorry. Aha, so this is what I wanted. Everything kind of automatically generated. So then I'm just going to go to here in our other project. I'm going to close project. And I'm just going to settings. That's fine, whatever. All right, good. So well, we could do real quick, as I said, we could just do a 5-minute Google search. So this is probably one that just go that extra mile. HTML, meta, description, syntax. Oops. Syntax. Content. So this is what it should look like. And the keywords, an author, John Doe. So that's what it should look like. And we had description, coding, nonprofit, I'm going to do free code camp. Barrie ON. Author probably will, sure. So that's description. So these are actually, I'm mixing up description and keywords. And this is just kind of this information. I don't know if it's still used by search engines. People used to game Google. They would add a bunch of bullshit. And so then obviously Google got savvy and just started ignoring anything that looked too dubious. So I think we can take keywords, add it to our description. Keywords, description. Oh, there was another thing too. I'm just thinking of it. Look at making test site. Test site, which we do test site. Continue to work locally. Or committing. Or just the hell with it. It's more of a question than an issue. Okay, so back to this. So keywords is that. Do free code camp study group in Barrie-Ontario, Canada. Sure. And then we're going to go get status, commit, verified meta head, meta syntax in head. So we're going to do a few things here. We're just going to push this. So it's going to take a while for GitHub to run its tests, obviously. And then we're going to open up the website, just make sure our stuff is commented out. We're going to run another report just to see if we get green across the board with Lighthouse. I don't suspect we wouldn't, but it's nice to verify those things. It's nice that once you kind of set like a set the bar, like, okay, we've got 94%. To always, I like to just kind of see, are we maintaining that good score, or are we regressing? As soon as we start adding some bells and whistles, just for fun, right? If we start adding like animation, or if we start adding additional images, that affects performance, right? And so we want to keep the score in the green as much as possible, but if we don't, then it's a learning opportunity. Okay, so that is looking good. I think there's really nothing to scroll down here. So pretty bland website. There's nothing going on here. It's just an image, blah, 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 a few links. I'm just making sure this link works. That link works. freeCodeCamp. It looks good. Barrie-Ontario should just take us to the Wikipedia. Good. Okay, so everything's fine. Let us run our Lighthouse. So we're going to run a new report. This is cool. I never seen I did. So that was our first test. That was our second test. A 96. Let's run a new report. I don't think it'll change that much. So I didn't realize I kept selecting mobile. Most people are going to check our website via mobile. I think that's the statistics these days. However, we can also run a score for, oh, why? Oh no. We're worse. Oh man. What happened? What happened? So we went from 96 to, no way. Okay, hang on. Yeah. We were at 96 and we're now worse. So we went from 46 and I don't think the image changed at all. So what happened? Proper size images. Sized images. So the image, even though we're shrinking it down, it's still too large. Serve images that are appropriately sized to save cellular data, improve load time. Huh. So there we go. Here's a, so we have something else to add to the list. I'm just going to take a whole screenshot. We'll just make an issue out of that. So it seems like the, oops, what did I do? Oh, so the biggest thing seems to be our size. What's this also? Serve images in next gen formats. Minimize main thread work. I don't know what that means. It's the image. It's the image. The image is 1 megabyte. It's just too big. Like, I mean, we are technically grabbing a whole megabyte image and I just shrank it down with code. Gosh, okay. Let's go here. What's a small? Okay, yeah. So let's just do something quick here then. Let's just trash this. And we're going to create new files. So we're going to do images again. And then, no, let's do this. Hang on, cancel changes. So how are we going to do this here? So So we're gonna go to images. Okay, let's delete that. And then in my files, I don't know if you can see, that's okay. Don't need to see. Yeah, my mouse is getting tired. It's saying, I've had enough fun today. So the original image I downloaded on my computer is 1.5 kilobytes, and the new one is 67 kilobytes. So this could be a quick, I was gonna make an issue on that poor performance, but this might just be a quick, this might just be a quick change here. Okay, so let's try this. How am I gonna do this? Normally I just do things all in the console. Okay. Then let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna do, this is where we're gonna, okay. Split status. That stash. Okay, so we're going to do get pull upstream or get pull main origin. Okay. Now we're going to remake images. There we go. So the only difference, it's not really showing us the spaces. That's not, I don't think so. Anyways. Oh, oops. No, I'll do that. Let's just list all. Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. I think that's the size. I don't know. Oh no, sorry. I have to go to images. That's it. CD images. Okay, now if I do a list AL, yeah. So that's accurate. So that's kilobytes. So, or sorry, maybe that's in bytes. It's about 68 kilobytes, I think. So a much more, it's going to be a smaller image. I think we shrink it down even more with code, just as presentation. So I don't know why we did well on the second run of the lighthouse, and then we did horrible on the third run, even though it was the same image. I don't know why. doesn't matter. Let's just verify that the file name is the same, because and I still have to add in a fave icon. We're probably going to get an error on that. Yeah. And I was supposed to give contribution. Set here. It's nice if you, I try, if I'm going to steal code, to be cool about it. And yes, wow. Oh shoot, did that not work? Paste. Shoot. Try that again. I am tired here, so copy to clipboard. Let's try this again. Let's see if it works. Photo by just it was. Copy. Huh, I can't bring in the. I don't know what's going on here. Computer's tired. Try this one more time. I must have clicked on the no, don't allow pasting in. Because I was trying to give the gentleman that took the picture props. They give you a nice little link there. Like you're supposed to give credit to him. Give a shout out to Matt Keene. And then I go to here and I try to paste it in. I wonder, there's all these new, come on, mouse, you can do this. Let's do HTML image. I thought there was a caption I saw the other day. Fig caption. Is it fig caption? Fig caption. Let's try it. Fig caption. It's just a regular tag or Let's see. See how that looks. Oh, get status. Come on. All right, so let's do get get. Oops, get them back in here. Where am I? Get status. Get commit. Oh, sorry. Get status. Get commits. Modify image for as per push origin. All right. Details. Ah. If the report comes back good, I'm going to call it a night. If it doesn't come back good, I'm going to call it a night. This is fun. I mean, normally I like to actually talk to people or to have a bit of interaction back and forth. I don't think I saw anybody in the waiting room. I wasn't paying attention. It was just after the long weekend. You know, people are zoomed out. I get it. We may actually have to one day in the near future, I don't know, fingers crossed, when we're all psychological, feel safe enough to get together, we can start doing in-person meetings. I found a lot of fun doing that. We met at not the Barrie Library, but the Painswick Library. They had rooms available for rent. And so there was one room, it was like a study room, and there was a whiteboard, and we would try to like figure out coding challenges on the whiteboard, and it was fun. The first few meetings, the one meeting I couldn't attend, I double booked, life got busy, and so that's when I had to delegate off to other members to run the meetings. But I mean, this is how you build a club and a gathering, so to speak. And it forces me to put my time in to kind of figure out these things. So whether I'm mumbling to myself or mumbling to fellow coders, it's all the same. I'm learning a heck of a lot, and I hope other people are learning. Okay, so that looked like that ran all right. Update. I don't see, oh. So I'm gonna have to tweak that up. That might have to be on a separate row. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's run that link works well. At Keen. Okay, we'll give them props. We'll figure out where to put that caption. So let's generate a new report. Hurrah! 99%. Nice. And I just want to see if there's just a quick way to fix this. So I'm thinking this just needs to be in its own row. But again, I'd have to look at his framework and his CSS to see maybe there's a slicker way to add image captions. And maybe, like, I mean, this is depending on how much nerdery you want to take it to, you could add to his to the gentleman's skeleton framework and say, here's our image contribution. And so what we would do, we would submit a pull request to his framework and say, this is how the image should look, and it should have a fig caption underneath it. And he would say, oh no, that's adding to performance, whatever the case may be. Okay, if we hit enter, does that do anything? Fig caption row, what's this? Fig caption. It's not really working the way. And I think it's this class. It's kind of throwing a monkey wrench. Oh, no, it's because I put it in the wrong div. That's why. Yeah, there we go. No. Yeah, I'd have to figure out how to use that image, fig caption. Oh, figure. Oh, look at that. Sorry, there's a figure and then a fig caption. Oh, okay. All right. Let us try that. Just for fun. Always read the documentation. They said I'd call it a night, but here I go again. To fix. Excuse me. Deployment 18. We've done 18 deployments tonight. These little tweaks, 18 times. Or maybe we did 17. I don't know. There was one deployment that was just a hello world. I wonder if we can look at the yeah, we can actually look at the deployments. So yeah, we did about 17 deployments this evening. This one is deploying. So this actions is pretty cool. And we're under about, that one took about 54 seconds. It's about a minute. That last one took a minute and 38. But maybe that was because I had to upload the new picture. That is interesting. Okay, so let's see. didn't really fix that. Didn't do that. I constantly want it underneath. I don't know why it's because I didn't change the row. That's why. I think we have to just abandon this figure. It's not working with this CSS setup here. So I'm just going to do maybe a simple P would work. We're going to try that. And then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to, if that doesn't work, then I'm going to put it on its own row. But I don't want to, I want to keep the same information in the row if possible. Logically speaking, maybe it doesn't work the way that I think it does. This is the story of my life. Last image caption. All right. Deployment number 19. So I've been working on a little project on the side for a friend. It did get kind of tabled off to the side, unfortunately, but I was trying to play around with creating almost like a monoplex, or sorry, a mono repo and a Docker image. And I was doing a lot of interesting things, but I was playing around with these deployment scripts. So these deployment scripts, I don't know if we can even look at them. This is might be an internal script, but you can actually make your own scripts and these own like that they run automatically every time you do a commit or every time you do a push, that you can run these scripts. And so I had a whole script where it would try to do a build on a virtual machine. If that went successful, then it would go to the next step. And then eventually I had it going. So I would deploy the new Docker image to my AWS server on a test. And if that looked good, then it would take it to production. It was hit and miss. I'm sure I was clobbering it together with duct tape and any code I could find. And I was watching a lot of videos and stuff. And I'm sure there's a much more better way to do it than how I was trying to do it. But the point was, I did get it to do what I wanted with these automatic scripts. And once you have it's called a CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment pipeline. And I've played around with different pipelines in the past. Travis CI was a popular one many years ago. freeCodeCamp used Travis CI. Now I think they use GitHub Actions. And I mean, there was Circle CI was quite popular once upon a time. I don't know if they still are. There's a ton out there. And you can really go down the rabbit hole. So because I have a membership with GitHub, they give you so many minutes. I don't know what's going on here. This is actually, maybe I'm capped off on the amount of builds I can do. This deployment is now 2 minutes. Huh. I was waiting for it to finish deploy and it was already green. I guess you have to refresh it quite often. Anyways, long story short, so you can actually customize these automatic scripts. And that's just me rambling on. Son of a gun. So it's still not. still not doing what I want it to do. Yeah, I think it needs to be in its own row. Oh, here I go. I'm breaking a promise. I said I would try one last thing and then I'd stop. Here I go again. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it. Oops. Okay, so this time I'm gonna actually just refresh and refresh and refresh. It's like 20 seconds for this, 3 seconds for that, 6 seconds for that. Yeah, that looks good for the build. Can't believe this. There you go, 7 seconds. Last time it didn't update on its own. It was going for 3 minutes. I thought, how is that possible? Boom. Is that what I wanted? That's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, it had to be on its own row. Whatever. That's exactly what I wanted. See how it's staying, the caption is staying right underneath the image. That's what I wanted. It's giving him credit. You deserve it, good man. Good artist. Good photographer, I should say. Okay, so pretty vanilla website. I have a direction that I want to go in. Whether the rest of the team, if there is a team, likes what I think. It'd be nice to talk to Ari, Emily, Chris, some of the other people that kind of float in and out of our club. And as I mentioned, I think it'd be fun every once in a while to do like a little project. Like, can we make CSS animation to make the hamburger menu fun, or to bring these different things in, to make little tools to help update the information. So, I mean, there's no shortage of projects and ideas and things to play with. I have all these items here. I just kind of fill up. I like to fill up the project. So we finished that. That's done. Was done, completed. So we can close that issue. Okay, that one is done. So this would be an easy one too, to do-ish. I don't know. There's fun things that you can tackle. The test site is. I mean, we're not a heavy duty. We're not a heavy duty website that has heavy duty usage, but it would be a practice best practices to have kind of a green-blue deployment, like a development and then a production and development and production, and kind of what we're trained and abide by in the IT community is to try to like play in our little sandbox and then deploy only the golden copy, tried and tested. Now, I forgot one last thing, just to overkill this again. I don't think we're going to lose performance, but I just like to see green across the board. It always, you want to always end on a high note if possible. So boom, 99%. That's nice. And I'm going to run another report for desktop, and it should, I don't think there should be any difference. But I'm always surprised. %100 performance. Good. Nice, 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 nice. So they even give you some suggestions here. So we do have a few things. Ensure text remains visible during web font load. So there's a, a potential savings of 40 milliseconds. And then I have to set an explicit width and height for the image. Background colors do not have a sufficient contrast ratio. So we lost a few points on accessibility. And here's a bunch of stuff for PWA, Progressive Web App. So that's a whole other kettle of fish I don't know anything about. And but for this stuff that we were looking at, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we didn't do much. We just made kind of a vanilla website. We know what we have to do. We have some items. We know kind of the workflow. You saw me kind of plug away and just kind of tweak here and there. I didn't do a heck of a lot. These will be the things that we'll be testing in the future. So yeah, I am spent. I'm about to lose my voice. Thank you for watching. If you did watch, this is just for record keeping, to keep me honest. Anyways, have a good evening. Stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands.